Hendrick Motorsports has just announced that the driver of the number 48, Alex Bowman, will miss this weekend's race at Talladega due to concussion-like symptoms. Earlier this week, we saw another Hendrick Motorsports get hit with big playoff implications for completely different reasons. William Byron getting penalized for his spinning out Denny Hamlin under caution, but this one is much, much bigger. But it's also bigger outside of just the playoff picture. It is bigger in terms of the health of a race car driver. And once again, it's not even in question anymore. It's the safety of the next-gen car and how, it's dangerous. Race cars are always going to be dangerous. If you're going 190 miles an hour, it's going to be dangerous. But NASCAR, for the most part, over the last 20 years, has escaped super bad, things, consistent injuries, or, there hasn't been a death since Dale Earnhardt in 2001. Yes, there have been a couple of injuries that have been pretty bad. Kyle Busch in 2015 at the Xfinity Series race when he broke both of his legs. Eric Almirola when he broke his back in 2017. But, Dale Jr.'s concussions in 2016. So we haven't really seen multiple injuries in a year, but this year it's happened. The first year of the next-gen car, drivers have talked about having the hardest hits of their life. Regular hits, that are pretty easy to take are now actually really hard hits, and they feel much harder than they actually are. And we saw it took Kurt Busch out. Kurt Busch has been out for 2 months. He's been out since July after his qualifying race at Pocono. And Alex Bowman, he kind of just did the same thing. He blew a tire in turns 3 and 4, hit the back of the car into the wall, and then hit the side of the car a little bit, and he's out. I don't know what to say anymore. I've said the next-gen car is in question in terms of the safety. Yes, it has provided great racing, but if it's going to cost the safety, there has to be changes made. And I've said, I understand this is not a switch that can be flipped overnight. It's going to take time to develop and make these changes. And making rules changes mid-season is usually pretty difficult. But when it comes to the safety of drivers, something's got to be done. This is the second driver to have a concussion in 2 months. That's pretty concerning. And then last week we had Cody Ware, who we thought could have been severely injured. Thankfully, he was not severely injured, but he's having soreness in his foot. He's got some hurt ligaments, not torn or anything, but they are damaged somewhat. And, he was sore, obviously. But what are we doing here? What are we doing? And, of course, you know what this weekend is? It's the most freaking chaotic, most explosive track on the NASCAR schedule, Talladega. Talladega is usually one of the best races, yes, but come on. There's always the big one. There's a car flipping. There's a car in the catch fence. There's a car hitting the wall, and the back tires are in the air. Really hard hits happen at Talladega. And we're going into this race knowing that a driver just got hurt last week. Another one almost got even more hurt. And, in fact, one of the drivers that got hurt is missing the race. This is a bad look for NASCAR. It's really bad look. I'm sorry for the rant, but it is. It's really bad. It's not good. Honestly, that was kind of my slight fear. I didn't want to say it out loud, but it was my fear that, with all the scares of the injury, the question of the safety of the next-gen car, Kurt Busch's concussion a couple months ago, Cody Ware almost getting severely hurt last week, I didn't want to say it, but I'm a little bit nervous about this weekend. I really am. Talladega is one of my favorite racetracks to go to. It is a blast. Watching Talladega races on TV is a blast. It's some of the most fun racing, but it is also a crapshoot. Crashes happen all the time. As I just said, flips, back tires in the air, catch fence, all that stuff. It happens, but we haven't really had to worry much about it because there haven't been any severe injuries at Talladega in the last couple of years. I think Larson broke a few ribs in 2018 or 2019. That's the last injury to happen that I can remember. If there was something else, I'm sorry. But with the next-gen car, as I said, the safety is in question of the drivers. That should never be in question. Technology has improved quite a bit since 2001. We should not be going backwards to where there is more of a risk than there should be. As I said earlier, it's always going to be a risk when a race car driver gets in the car and goes 190, 200 miles an hour. It's always going to be a risk. You can never take the 100% risk out of it. There's always going to be a risk. But when you build a new car, and you put it out on track, one of the expectations, one of the priorities has to be safety. It's been the priority for the last couple of cars. The Gen 6, the car tomorrow, they were extremely safe cars. You know, the crashes that did happen that caused injuries were really freak accidents. It wasn't like a normal crash caused the injuries. Like Eric Almirola, his car went, 8 feet in the air and came and slammed back down, which is why his back kind of got jacked up. So it's not exactly the Gen 6's fault that Eric Almirola got hurt. It was just a freak accident. Alex Bowman and Kurt Busch are sitting on the sidelines right now from a normal-ass wreck. That is literally what happened. Bowman blew a tire and hit the back of the wall a little bit. He finished the race. He ran the rest of the laps that he was able to run. But now he's out for Talladega. Let's look at the statement. Hendrick Motorsports released a press release and it said Alex Bowman will not compete in Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series playoff race at Talladega Superspeedway after experiencing concussion-like symptoms following an accident in the September 25th event at Texas Motor Speedway. Bowman, the title contending driver of the number 48 Ally Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 for the Hendrick Motorsports, was evaluated by physicians today in Charlotte, North Carolina. Noah Gragson will fill in for Bowman this weekend. The Las Vegas native has 13 Cup-level starts in 2022 with a best finish of 5th August 28th at Daytona International Speedway. The 24-year-old driver won the April 23rd NASCAR Xfinity Series event at Talladega. Alex Bowman's statement says, after undergoing medical evaluation due to concussion-like symptoms, I will not be driving the number 48 Ally Chevrolet in Talladega. I'm disappointed, but know my health is the number one priority. I'm committed to follow all medical guidance to ensure I can return to competition as soon as possible. So, first of all, on the Alex Bowman side of things, massive respect to him for, sitting out a race, and not just any race. It's a very important race for him. He's, 27, 28 points below the cutoff line. So this was a big race for him. He could make up a lot of points. If he wins, obviously he advances. And, if he comes back for the Roval and misses Talladega, he's going to have to win. But for him to put his health first is a big deal. He could have, tried to tough it out or something, or, tried to say, oh, I'm fine, let's push through and, still fight for the championship. But he's sitting out. That's a pretty big move by the driver of the number 48, Alex Bowman. For him to do that, it's something that Kurt Busch had to do too. Kurt Busch, he was in the playoffs at the time with a win, and he opted to sit out, and he opted to, give up his playoff eligibility waiver because he couldn't compete in the playoffs due to his concussion. And now we see Alex Bowman doing the same thing, a crucial race, a crucial time in the season, and he's competing for a championship, and he has decided to not race this weekend. Put his health first. Obviously, if he were to go race and get in another crash, it could worsen the damage to his head, and that's something that no one wants to see. So for Alex Bowman to sit out, that's a big deal, big call on his end, and I'd say it's something that I think other drivers might look up to see one of their competitors prioritize safety over a championship, over a race. While yes, those things make you legendary, they make you future Hall of Famer, whatever. It's still your health that is priority number one, and Alex Bowman is making sure that is known. So, massive respect to Alex Bowman. That had to have been a really tough decision, but it seems like he got the medical advice to sit out, and he's going to do so. So, it's really tough. It's frustrating though. We've seen two guys who could have been competing for championships get taken out due to a normal-looking accident, and here we are. So, next-gen car safety is already it's already chaotic enough. There's so much talk about it. I feel like it's been the talk for just almost 2 months now, and we're going through this again. It's got to stop somewhere. I said that it can't happen overnight, but where do you draw the line? You've already had one concussion. Now we're on concussion number 2. Does it take 3 concussions to say, all right, we got to make a change overnight? Like, what does NASCAR got to do? As for the replacements, obviously I said Noah Gragson, he's taken over the 48 for the weekend. That's a quick replacement. Obviously it's Thursday right now, so that's probably the best option. Gregson is a Chevy driver. He's a Hendrick affiliate driver. He's drives for Junior Motorsports, who has kind of groomed drivers to go to Hendrick Motorsports, Chase Elliott, William Byron. So it makes sense for him to go into that 48 car. Obviously, as I said, he's driven in Cup before. He's had success at Talladega before. And he's been hot recently in the Xfinity Series. So I think that's a perfect choice for Hendrick, especially a quick turnaround. I'm sure if it was like the Roval next week, if Bowman were to miss the Roval, they might call Jimmy Johnson to get back in the 48. But yeah, and then as for the 62, Gregson was supposed to drive the 62 for Beard Motorsports. Justin Allgaier is going to fill in for Gregson in that. So yeah, it just sucks. It really, really sucks that we have to go through this again. There's no other way of putting it. I hope Alex Bowman's okay. I hope he can come back for the Roval. If not, however long it takes him, I hope he's okay. I hope he's able to get back. He's a young driver. I want him to have a long, successful career. I don't want it to get shortened by concussions. I'm not saying he's going to retire next year or anything, but I really hope this is a minor case, but something's got to be done. Yeah. But anyways, weekend update. I was going to do a separate 1-minute video about this. We're going to do this right here, right now. Yeah, I'm actually going to be at the track all weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, working at the track. So as for videos and stuff, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be running around doing different things. I will do my best to get things uploaded. If I can get a video, I will put it out there. I don't know how much I'm going to get, but at the least, I'm going to take pictures, and I'm going to put pictures on the community post. That's all I know I can do. I'm going to be at the media center for a little bit. I know that, but I don't know to the extent of what I am doing for every hour of the day. I could be running around getting pictures of the track. I could be running back and forth getting stuff. I could be writing stuff in the media center. I don't know what I'm doing, but the point being, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to go out and get videos like I normally do at a racetrack, or to the extent that I did last year when I was credentialed for that race. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing, to put the least. So the least you're going to see is pictures on the community post. Best case scenario, I get you some footage, some videos, and I put it up here on the channel. But yeah, really wish I didn't have to make this video. I don't like talking about drivers getting injured, but it is news, and I got to talk about it. And unfortunately, this is our second injury in 2 months. That's going to take a driver out of the race. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you whenever I see you next.